Boo, 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 boo. Here we are. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome to Dreamy Dreamland with your Sensei Al Bob. I am your sensei, your griot, and boy, don't I look slimming. I kind of trimmed the bushes off the side and left the hoo hoo. And so, good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, and welcome to Dreamy Dreamland with your Sensei Al Bob, your griot, here to tell you a story and don't believe a word I say. I want to thank you first, all you who have sent me something to PayPal. There are the four, the Fantastic Four, who always are there every month. And yes, I know they don't have a tremendous amount of resources, but they are someone you can depend on. And there's something to be said for folks you can depend on, even if it's just pennies. It's still nice. And I just had my friend in taken care of, and the few dollars that they had sent was just. I still have enough money to keep my bank account open for my Social Security check to go in there in the next week or so. And it would be great if someone out there could throw something in my PayPal, which I could then put in that account. And that PayPal is, when they ask you, who is it? It's the Dude Awake 42 at Gmail. Dude Awake 42 at Gmail. And I'm going to see. I told everyone that they could send me photographs of their palm. Remember, the hand you write with, on both sides, and from about here to the tips of your fingers, right? Um, and let's see if anyone has sent me any messages on my email. Do 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 do. All inboxes. Oh, look at that. Oh, nice. Someone did send me something. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Now, that was March 1st, so that's so long gone. Um, well, Shannon Clark. Well, whoever sent that on March 1st, thank you very much. Um, Good afternoon. Hello, I work in public relations at Fanatic, and I am responsible for public build-up to launch novel products. We have just presented the most advanced, fantastic, bold, blah, 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 bold mouse, blah, blah, blah. Sure enough, this will be paid offering. Let's see. Advice you choose that's more suitable for your subscribers and your future videos. Sure enough, this will be paid. A bonus point. We grant you any product you choose free of charge. Finally, currently, this website. Reply to this message if this offer is interesting. Replying, oh, yes, oh, yes, oh, yes, oh, yes, this is an interesting offer. Again, I would love to talk to you on the phone because I can hear the reality and sincerity of individuals' voices. So, give me a buzz. First, get a hold of me here. Give me your phone number. You've gotten a hold of me. You've gotten my interest. Next message you send me a phone number. I'll call you and then we can talk. And sure, pretty much any product is a product. If you're going to pay me, that's great. I'm living on, uh, gasps, but, I'd love it. So tell me about your company. Tell me about where you're located. Tell me, other than the product that you mentioned, who you represent. I love to hear from you. Talk to you soon. Always your Sensei Owl Bob. And if you want to send me something, you can send it to my PayPal. And again, it's connected to this email address. And since you called me, you sent me an email, then you know it. Okay, look forward to hearing from you. So it's been sent. Anyway, so back to let's see if anyone sent me a photo of their palm. Mm-mm-mm. Come on, T, J, C, J, me. Come on, two, JC, Brent Boy. So Brent is constantly sending me things about media, right? Mm-mm-mm-mm. So he sent. Let's see. Biden confirms why the U.S. needs this war. In a moment, candidate Joe Biden has revealed why U.S. needed the Russian invasion and why it needs it to continue, writes Joe Loreley. Joe Loreley, special to Consortium News. The U.S. got its war in Ukraine. Without it, Washington could not attempt to destroy Russia economy otherwise. Worldwide condemnation, blah, blah, blah. Russia, all part of the attempt, blah, blah, blah. Bring down government, blah, blah, blah. Biden has now left no doubt, blah, blah, blah. The President of the United States has confirmed what Consortium News and others have been reporting since the beginning. Russia, blah, blah, blah. For God's sake, this man, blah, blah, blah. The president point was that Putin, blah, blah, blah. White House official said he was not discussing Putin's blah, blah, blah. Suddenly, anyway, you get the picture. And that's our friend, what's his Branty boy? That's, he's all. First, he said that Biden was the best thing. He's a peace president. He's real. I said, forget it. We're going to have a war. Oh, no, you're wrong. Then we had a war. Oh, well, he's only going to stay there in the Donbass. I said, no, he's going to obliterate, the history. What history? I don't know. What yesterday? No, 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 no. This war is a war that's been fought since the fourth century, since you know, the Tsar put his foot on the neck of the Khazarian mob. And the Khazarian mob is they're all over the place, right? It's the folk, the Nazis were the Aryan race, that's the Khazarian mob, right? The Anunnaki, who came into Western with a lot of bling, and all the kings needed bling to finance their wars with each other, and that's how they got the name Jewish, because they were jewelers, right? Go read Shakespeare's Merchant of Venice, right? Shylock, right? Biden said that sanctions were never designed to prevent Russia's intervention, but to punish it afterwards, right? I mean, and Russia, on the converse, if Russia was really serious about Ukraine and also the countries that were allowed, not 1 inch. Go read that book. Not 1 inch. All the, Poland, Estonia, Latvia, all became members of NATO, right on Russia's border, and Russia could have done something about it in the last 20 years, but didn't, blah, blah, blah. There's never a slip of the tongue, everything is scripted. And so is JoJo. JoJo and, uh, let's see, who is this person? Jamie, looking sharp there. Yes, I found these. I love these things. These are my mask. When people say you need to be masked up, this is how I look when I get masked up. This is for ladies who have really wild hair, but it's gray as a mask. This is as protective as any other mask, and it's quite stylish. But it's keeps my neck warm, and or the top of my head, right? So, and these things only cost at Walmart's when on sale 25 cents, right? When they're not on sale, they're about $1.50. But they were on sale, so I bought a bunch of them because I know I got a bunch somewhere, and that's the next 5 days: spraying, cleaning. Tomorrow, rain, 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 rain. But the next 5 days after that, it's going to be like this, kind of pretty sunny, nice, So that's kind of what it looks like where I am at. And this is my home right here. This is what a homeless guy looks like in his car. Who is that masked man? Yes, it's the shadow. The shadow knows what evil lurks in the hearts and souls of all the chumps and all the morons and all the fracking morons and the usual suspects and the sock puppets. We have the legislators, the sock puppets that money can buy, the best sock puppets money can buy. That's not just in America. That's every friggin' place. They're all owned by good old Mr. Rothschild. Anyway, what else? So nobody sent me there. Again, anybody wants me to read your palm, send me a picture of your hand, the hand you write with, the front, so I can see at least from here to here, and the back, right? From there to there, right? All, the whole hand. That would be a good picture, that would be a good picture, right? Right? And this would be a good picture, right? Then I could give you a good cold reading. I could tell you exactly what's going on in your life, who you are, what's going on, blah, blah, blah. Can't tell you who you're going to marry. I can't tell you whether you're going to find love in the next 20 seconds. Can't tell you those kind of things. But I can tell you about what your worldview is and how you look at things and how things affect you. And that information might be good for you. Yep. The hand you're with. Yep. Okay. I mean, do it now. I'll give you a reading right here live on Dreamy Dreamland. There's all this stuff about JoJo and Vlad and the EU, blah blah blah, and China, blah blah blah. That's all it is, blah blah blah. Because they're trying right now. Is this? For the last 2 years, I've been talking about the big splat, right? And that this is a point in time, a fixed point in time where something amazingly positive is happening. And all my novels are about this, right? I have this set of 5 novels. I've written about 4. I've written all 5. 2 are like 80% done. The other 3, 2 of them are about 50% done, and the other one's about 12% done. And they're all weaved. They're not like, they're non-linear. they do this, right? So the first one kind of doesn't even set everything up. It just kind of shows the different characters, how they're connected, and something interesting's coming, right? So the first one is Ear Hair, and then Legend, Legacy, almost done, and then the other one that I haven't quite got a name for. So come on, Jamie, send me a photograph of your palm. So. Come on to Christ. One of my Christian or religious friends sent me that, and actually it's quotes from the Bible, New and Old Testament, and they were actually pretty good. when I wake up in the morning screaming in pain, you know, the thing that gets me out of it is love's unconditional forgiveness, and one loves unconditional love, right? And the forgiveness is Jesus. The unconditional love is, the work in progress. So, and that's what gets me. That's what I wake up to in pain, and then I meditate on those two, and the pain goes away. Then I get out of bed and I move around. The more I move around, the better I feel. So again, Jamie, if you want to send me that picture of your hand, both sides, front and back, of the hand you write with. Okay. So nope, nobody's sent me anything. So there you go on that. Let's see. I'll go to Mr. YouTube. There I am live. Elon Musk says something suspicious is going on. Yes, it's you, Elon. You're the suspicious one. Anonymous official upload. Warning, watch within the next 24 hours. Okay, let's see what Anonymous has to say.
This centuries-old natural hack can melt 2 pounds of fat overnight. It works so well that once the fat is gone, it's gone forever.
It's gone forever.
It burns.
I'm very honored and pleased to introduce the Honorable Joe Biden, the Vice President of the United States. I'm so pleased to see you back here in Davos, because I remember
Davos boy,
before you assumed your position as Vice President of the United States, you came here as a senator, you came here as the chairman of the Foreign Relations Committee of the Senate. And I have to say, in my memory, you were one of the most engaged and hardest working participants here at the annual meeting. I watched you in the morning up to midnight sometimes.
This is Klaus here.
Engagement after the other.
You know.
So we established a new civil rights cause of action for those whose intimate images were shared on the public screen. How many times have you heard? I bet everybody knows somebody somewhere along the line that in an intimate relationship, what happened was the guy takes a revealing picture of his friend or whatever in a compromising position, and then literally in a sense or mortifies that person. Send it out, put it online.
Would there be any place for fossil fuels, including coal and fracking, in a Biden administration?
No, we would work it out. We would make sure it's eliminated. We have to move toward a net zero emissions. No more drilling on federal lands. No more drilling, including offshore. No ability for the oil industry to continue to drill, period. Ends.
Under my plan of a cap and trade system, electricity rates would necessarily skyrocket.
I think it's critically important that we immediately, on day one,
That
get
was
back in the Paris
Obama
Agreement.
when he was
And
12
I
years
think it's
old.
critically important on day one that we end any fossil fuel leases on public land.
We're going to end fossil fuel. We are going to get rid of fossil fuel. We're drilling on federal lands. No more drilling, including offshore. No ability for the oil industry to continue to drill, period. Ends.
Under my plan of a cap and trade system, electricity rates would necessarily skyrocket.
I think it's critically important that we immediately, on day one, get back in the Paris Agreement. And I think it's critically important on day one that we end any fossil fuel leases on public land.
We're going to end fossil fuel. We are going to get rid of fossil fuel.
A picture of Joe Biden.
Ends.
Under my plan of a cap and trade system, electricity rates would necessarily
Look at Obama.
I think it's critically
He
important
looks like
that
he's 12.
we immediately, on day one, get back in the Paris Agreement. And I think it's critically important on day one that we end any fossil fuel leases on public land.
We're going to end fossil fuel. We are going to get rid of fossil fuel.
A picture of Joe Biden, and they place it next to the high dollar signs, and underneath it says, "I did that."
I take out
5 or 6 a day.
My guess is you'll start to see gas prices come down as we get by and going into the into next year in 2022.
Another day, another record for gasoline.
What is the Granholm plan to increase oil production in America?
Oh my God. That is hilarious.
It's simply not true that my administration or policies are holding back domestic energy production.
Because I'm capping greenhouse gases, coal power plants, natural gas, you name it, whatever the plants were, whatever the industry was, they would have to retrofit their operations. That will cost money. They will pass that money on to consumers.
Gas prices have hit a record high again today.
We will, in fact, reduce inflation. Make no mistake, inflation is largely the fault of Putin. The current spike in gas prices is largely the fault of Vladimir Putin.
You may have noticed this week that your gas prices have gone up. A lot of it has to do with Vladimir Putin. On day one of the Biden presidency, joined the Paris Accord. He revoked the permit for the Keystone Oil Pipeline. He's stopping new leases for drilling oil and gas on federal lands.
The electricity rates would necessarily skyrocket.
It has been known since the dawn of civilization that a tyrant will always find a pretext for their tyranny.
January 6th insurrection. I know where I stand. I will not yield. I will not flinch. I will defend the right to vote. Our democracy against all enemies, foreign and, yes, domestic.
And so it goes in 2022 as an unyielding portion of the bureaucracy of the federal government of the United States, poisoned by visions of globalist totalitarian grandeur, fueled by the 109-year inhabitants of a foreign central banking cartel, will utilize their one-sided characterization of the events of January 6th to propel their quest for unlimited power.
To firebomb cities across this country, the answer we got from the Department of Justice was shameful. On October 22nd, you came back and said, quote, "The department has dedicated investigative and prosecutorial resources commensurate with the significance of these events." By significance, I guess it means the political benefit to the Biden White House.
Whether it's unconstitutional vaccine mandates and lockdowns resulting from gain-of-function research.
Okay, so, blah, 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 blah. It doesn't matter who's saying it. It's the same blah, blah, blah. The only thing that counts is what's in your heart and in your, not your mind, but your consciousness, right? So what's in your heart? Love's unconditional. Meaning, work in progress is love's unconditional, right? Just unconditional love is in your heart. There is no conditions. You're not weighing anything. If you do this, I'll do that. No, just unconditional love. And in your mind is, your unconditional empathy, understanding, intent. I am, your conscious intent. I am. Conscious awareness. I am. You've got to be those things, or it's not going anywhere. This is great. I'll send my palm private reading. Okay. Awakening. Carol blessings. Okay. So it's private reading, so we're not going to read Jamie's palm live on the chat. I'm just going to do it, unless he wants it. Hey Jamie, you want it live on the chat? I won't show your palm. I'll just kind of give the reading so you can hear it over the chat. Anyway, it's a beautiful afternoon. What time is it? 3:52. I've been doing this 20. So at 30 minutes, let's see. Conscious awareness. I am. Yep. Let's see. Let's see if you can you hear me now? I put a document in front of me. This is what I've written in my novel Ear Hair, right? And here we are at page, I wrote this in the last 3 days, but 10 pages. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, where are you? Act 7, Scene 1, G. Reader, how you doing? Have you read this book from page 1 to this last page, page by next page? If you have done so, I am very impressed. You, the reader, has to have taken the red pill to suppress your disbelief and let the matrix code line up into metaphors of multi-dimensional parallel crypto universal storyboards. I like that one per run-on sentence of poetry. As you have become a la Neo, or have you held it like the oracle by the book spine in your left hand, and with your right hand thumb leafed through the pages and stopped at any point to divine that moment of your decision's outcome? Or are you the agent of the architect, where in ego's illusion of time's power of fear, dropping in to the experience, that moment of controlling the other, to repeat and wash your self-loathing of your spirit stain that never goes away until you learn to live love's forgiveness. Goodbye and good luck. Pluggy Boom Boom. Copyrighted 9/11, the year 3871 in Sydney, Australia. So you want to hear a story, reader? By now, you're either warmed up and ready, or fallen asleep, or thrown this book into the fire. Well, I hope not. Once upon a time, there was a baby born onto the drunk bitch who had many virgin conceptions after many a wild party with the dog named Bob. This bitch had popped out many a Walking Dead monkey mud puppet before our hero arrived. As a sanctified lucky bastard, as with those heroes before this infant, there had been much to do about nothing amongst the archons of the hidden hand about the incoming lucky bastard, born in the irrelevant year 1950. Whatever, as with all the other lucky bastards that came before, it was ahead of its time, for it pronounced as it is, for it is pansexual, pan-wonderful, pan-overstanding, pan-funny, pan-tastic, that nothing mattered but love's co-creation. All else is illusion. As with all lucky bastards, the jealous seem to need to kill it. But after many entrails were spilled on the southwest corner of Park Avenue, New York City, New York, USA, Earth, it was divined that its dispatch would be left to luck's embrace. A most fortunate outcome. For our hero, it is the lucky bastard's way. Scene 2G. This is when the fun starts. Hey there, it is me, your hero, and I am picking up the narrative. I can remember everything as it was a moment ago. For me, it is. That is, I live in the moment, being the best that I can be in the service to love's co-creation. I do my best in all I do. I don't kick the moment down the road of life, so I don't have to come back down to the tomorrow and tomorrow road and try to fix that thing. I should have done my best in the first place. I am not perfect. I just do my best in service to love's co-creation. Right here in the now, I live to love, for that is all there is. The past is gone. It is what was. The past only value comes from the understanding of the context of love's work in progress, of love's co-creation. The context is the memory and impact of happiness's well-being and pain's misery. This dynamic of these two elements manifests either an understanding of the value of life, totality of experience, or a psychopathic belief in fears, hate, anger, of ego's deluded anxiety of self-loathing. Boop-a-doop-boop-boo. Let's see if I can go back. Yes, there I am. So I just thought you might like that. And I'm going to back out of this now, and I'll talk to you later. Okay? Okay. Boop-a-doop-boop-boo.